And what mothers toward their sons need to realize is that that first woman in his life is going to be his mother. And if he concludes that women basically have nothing but contempt for us as men unless we perform at a certain level.
It's Channel Mom with Jenny Dean Schmidt. We're here for you.
This situation between mothers and sons translates into the marital world. So when you're raising your son and teaching him that you respect him, it's going to make it better for his future wife. Likewise, you may be seeing some of this in your own husband. How did his mother treat him based on how you see him treat you as a wife? So Tracy, what is your thought as you look back on your marriage about how the mother-son relationship may have played in? What do you want to ask Dr. Eggerichs about that?
Well, I definitely see how the interaction between my ex-husband and his mom, it filtered down into our relationship as well.
Yeah.
And I'll be very honest, none of us were very equipped with any tools like this to succeed in this type of to succeed in the marriage, obviously.
So you say it affected the way in which he was able to be intimate, in the sense that maybe he didn't know how to love his mom, he didn't know how to love you.
Exactly. And I think a lot of it came down to, looking back, I think there's a lot of times where he didn't feel respected. And I was doing the best that I could, and he was doing the best that he could, but we got to that place of, you don't love me, you don't respect me. But then looking and watching him interact with his mom, it was the exact same cycle.
Oh.
It was the exact same cycle.
So speak into that, Dr. Eggerichs, about the mother-son relationship and how that translates into the marriage. You got about 4 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's huge. And I think that what we have is an honest misunderstanding among good-willed people. And in the case of your husband, let's say, if he misunderstood his own mother, if he felt that his mother loved him but really didn't like him or had contempt for him, and if that was an ongoing thing where they had a battle all through the teen years, then he as a male has a tendency to think, at the end of the day, women just have contempt for us as men. If we don't perform at a certain level, they have disrespect toward us, even though they love us. Mothers love unconditionally. And my wife loves me unconditionally. But neither my mother nor my wife really has respect for who I am, and in fact have told me that they don't respect who I am. Now, in a man's world, then, if he hasn't thought this through, that's really not the message either woman I'm trying to send at all. That's not the intent. They're good-willed women who are just expressing their hurts and hope that they can, in some ways, be understood themselves. Then what he does, he keeps his distance, thinking, I'm not energized by either of these relationships, and I'm not even interested in having a relationship. And what mothers toward their sons need to realize is that that first woman in his life is going to be his mother. And if he concludes that women basically have nothing but contempt for us as men unless we perform at a certain level, then what they do is they begin to shut down. And the opportunity for moms today is to send this is why I'm so excited about this book, begin to counter what I think even the culture now reinforces.
Yes.
There's something seriously wrong in boys. And it's okay to show them disrespect. It's okay to take your negativity out on them. It's okay to look down on them. It's okay to degrade them. They don't get it anyway. Oh, yes, they do get it. They just don't cry. They just lock up and go quiet. But they're hearing every word, and it is making a deep impression. So what you want to do is counter that with what I call the respect talk. And the respect talk begins to soften his spirit. It reassures him that you do believe in him, even on the heels of his failings.
Yeah.
And so moms have a crucial role, not only in relationship with their boy, but she is setting the stage for how he's going to interpret that sweet daughter-in-law that's going to come into your family.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. And I'm fond of saying that a boy or a man will often rise to the way in which the women in his life treat him.